section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we're giving out report cards today. The sensei's in the building. Stormy, what's good, brother?
What's happening?
Man, oh man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Let me do this roll call real quick, man, because Stormy, we're gonna have to cook on this this bullish that we call boxing. I keep telling y'all, we love the sport don't love us. And the more things change, the more things stay the same. My allergies are acting up, and I'm a little annoyed, but it's all good. D-Man Jr., Perfect Timing, Rod Neal, Steve Elder Mack, Dow Big G Galloway, Chill Time Majors. I'm going to be sniffing all goddamn thing. I'm going to sound like Tyson Fury. Monday. Marcus Walls, Kagi Good, Shogun, Marcus, Macados Mac of the South, Lamar Griffin, Thomas from the Bronx, salute, and congrats on the C's and the graduation. Big Texas in the building. Jared, what's going on? Dwayne Price, Coach Amber. Oh, yeah. Oh, Coach, I'm going to have her on next week because I didn't want her in the way of all this smoke. Because we got a lot to touch on. So we're gonna have her on next week. Oh, the hell is that? We're gonna have her on next week, Coach Amber. We're gonna have her on next week because I want it to be about her. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have her on next week, definitely. I didn't want her in the way of this, because what man, typical stuff, man. But we're gonna have her on next week, Coach. Dino Boxing, what up? Hassan Shafi, what up? What's going on? Platboy Plays in the building. Salute, man. So, yeah, she deserves a lot of shine, Coach. And you know what I want to talk to her about? You know, that Wakanda statement, you know, we're going to get to it. Which was strange, you know, and you know why it was strange, you know what I mean? Yeah. But she's so cool. She responded to the DM. And yeah, we're going to have her on next week. Definitely. So, we're giving out report cards. And before we get to Adamus and Berlanga, let me ask the chat a question. Do you think it's time for Adam Kownacki to hang it up? But now I'm the Mexican, salute. Do you guys think it's time for Adam Kownacki to hang it up? Fort New York, he's based out of Brooklyn. Polish came out to come support him as they always do. Do you guys think it's time for Adam Kownacki to hang it up? Knockdown, what's up? Andrew Gray says, yeah. Rod Neal says, yes. Do you think it's time for him to hang it up? Daryl Alexander, salute. Stormy, your thoughts on Adam Kownacki last night? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was able to see it. I'm getting some reverb.
Are you?
Yeah. Anyway, it's gone now. I don't hear it now. And I'll put my camera back on, but I saw that it was lagging for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Meanwhile, it's been acting goofy lately. I've heard some other people talking about it, but I got a second question to ask along with that because I saw him, but I'm not ready to answer that question yet without posing the second question. Second question, because some people in the chat answered in the affirmative that, yeah, they think it's time for him to hang it up. But I want to ask this question. Why? Why is it time, or should he hang it up? Now, when you give me that answer, then I can give my answer. And then we're going to find out who knows anything about boxing.
Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, that was not a trick question. That was not a trick question. So a few of the brothers said, yes, he should hang it up. So let me ask y'all, and anybody in the chat, why do you think he should hang it up? I'll wait for anybody. Anybody can respond to that.
Yeah, just
let me mute myself for
answers. Why should he hang him up?
The allergies are kicking my behind. John Kramer says a heavyweight is always one punch away from winning a fight. Yeah. Look at his shape and how he carries himself. And I like that Thomas said that, because all of this body shaming that they do to certain fighters, named Deontay Wilder, skinny legs and stuff like that. Adam Kownacki comes into every fight looking like Uncle Fester without the robe on. Nobody says anything. In fact, they've given him credit for when he was on a win streak. They're giving him a lot of credit, man. I remember the super racist Rick Glasser ass, Syriac, what up? When he talked about how slight win it was against Chris Arreola, they sang his praises. Adam came in there and got it done. I remember reading that. I said, wow. That's crazy. He's never been ridiculed for his physique. He's a chubby dude. Genetically, that's who he is. I believe he's in shape. For every fight. That's just how he's built. But nobody's body shamed him at all. Which I find strange, since we're in this era of body shaming fighters that actually are in shape. You know what I'm talking about? But whatever. Nobody's body shamed Tyson Fury except us. Nobody's body shamed Adam Kownacki. But everywhere I turn around, it's Deontay Wilder's skinny legs. But the question is, if he's gonna hang it up, why? Why should he hang it up? Anybody? Just why do you think he should hang it up? The brother Rick Hill says he had already retired and came back just for this fight to see if he still had it. Yeah, well, if that's what this, because I thought he did retire after his last loss. So he comes back and he fights this Sicilian fella, and it was a good fight for him until it wasn't. So why should he hang it up? And salute to Mojave Nation Sports Podcast. He said, "What's good, Drew Titan and Stormy B-Man? My Special Olympic basketball team finished undefeated with a 10-0 record. Thank you for the support." I saw that on the gram, Abel. No doubt, man. What was your stats in the series, man? I just want to know.
Salute to Abel and his team.
Salute to you, Abel. 10-0, man. Hell yeah. Looking forward to seeing you in August, man. For real. Mo G, Mr. Shelton, what up? Jay Gibson, what up? So, yeah, salute to you, young Abel. For real. Johnny Q, what's going on? So, why do you think that anybody, just give me anybody, why do you think he should hang it up? Why do you think he should hang it up? The corner threw in the towel. Did I have a problem with the stoppage? I'm going to say no, because they know their fighter. Mo G says taking too much punishment and getting beat by C-level fighters now. Edgar Chavez, what's going on?
I'm going to stop you right there again.
Go ahead.
The corner threw in the towel. Let me ask this question. I don't know what his record is right now, but let's just say he has a record of 20-4 or 20-5 or something like that, right? So let's just say rounded off to 25 fights in his career. Whatever his record is, this is just a hypothetical thing on his record, but a truthful thing on his career. Why didn't they throw the towel in 24 fights ago?
Ooh. Are you saying that Adam's been fighting the same exact way since we've seen him?
I'm saying that Adam has never fought a fight in shape.
Uh-oh.
Now, the shape that he comes in is rotund. And the last time that I checked, there's 2 heavyweight champions out there. One is an Olympian and a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and a current unified champion. The other is a big, underachieving, overcheating scam artist that doesn't know what in shape means over the past 10 years. Now, early in his career, when he was going up to about 12-0, he was in shape. He was. Then he found out something that none of us were privy to, and it allowed him to take a different turn. And the results are obvious when you look at him physically. But I'm saying all of this to say this. I would put money on Alexander Usyk for what he has done for his career, because he has been a dedicated fighter and he has grown through the ranks through his career. Currently fighting at around 220 pounds. A few days ago, in one of the chats, it was questioned by me when someone said, well, they could see Fury beating Usyk because he's just too big for him or whatever. If that were really the case, Fury would have went ahead and fought Usyk, beat him, and become undisputed.
True.
Usyk is the one fighter out there who will not only come in shape, but he has ability. Regardless of if you like the guy or not, where he comes from, his country, and all of that. But we're talking about merit. We're talking about accomplishments. Would you, in your right frame of mind, just because you're bigger than him and everything, you go and you sign for that fight so I can be undisputed, and then my legacy is secured, right? But that hasn't happened. And it hasn't happened because of everything that's on Tyson Fury's side. So what does that have to do with Adam Kownacki? We live, and I heard Drew use this term a little while ago, we live in a current society where when you critique someone, they call it shaming.
Yeah.
We're in a society that doesn't have any damn shame. So how in the hell can you be shaming somebody that don't have shame? You're the one that gets out of the bed and enters the weigh-in looking like a dad bod, right?
Yeah.
But you supposedly had a camp and training. What were you training on? Brontosaurus burgers? Get the hell out of here. And then I'm supposed to feel bad for you? Sit your fat, out of shape ass down somewhere. And the men who so-called train you, what are they training you to do? Because it looks more to me than the fighter. You look more like the bags that the fighters punch in the gym. And that equates to the performance that you gave last night in the ring. out of shape, bro. Now, imagine this for a moment. And I'm not trying to make anybody laugh because I'm serious as hell about this. The man can take a shot.
Yep.
The man can deliver a shot. What would have happened if he were in proper shape? I've talked about this about fighters like Andy Ruiz Jr. as well. Coming in there at a rotund ass 250 plus 260 pounds, but you're 6 feet tall. You look like a fire plug. Trim that shit down to 220, 215, which I've always maintained. If you look back in history, the heavyweights were best around 220 pounds. They were. Regardless if they were 6'3", or they were 5'11", or 6 foot even. This era of all these really tall dudes, it's gonna pass. It's gonna go by the wayside. But even if you have a taller frame, like Deontay is 6'7", but his optimum weight is what, people?
215, 214.
Thank you. Why is that? Because in boxing, it requires you to have some speed, some footwork, some agility, and the ability to be able to move when you need to move, whether it's advancing towards someone or getting the hell out of the way. These guys are lazy.
Yep.
I'm big boned. No, you eat meat full of big bones because that's what you're doing. You're sitting up there having another plate of whatever, huh? And you're undisciplined. Seriously. When Ali ballooned up to 230 plus, almost 238 pounds, he really didn't look nothing like himself. But y'all don't remember that. Y'all only remember float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Holmes at his best was 6'3", almost 6'4", and 209 pounds. 209 pounds, people. And now we have this notion that, bigger is better. No, it ain't. We're talking boxing. Bigger is better. No, it's not. In other words, the old trainers and coaches used to like you to be lean and mean in order to perform like a machine. All that big bulk and clunk leads to a performance full of junk. That's what that is. And you may not want to hear that, especially if you got a fucking chicken wing in your mouth right now. But we're talking about the professional fighters. We're not talking about all of you professional eaters, which y'all are close, huh? Family. Y'all, same parrot. Because they don't want to put the plate down, and neither do these fighters, huh? But you got to hear the truth, man. And it's not shaming you to tell you you're out of shape. Now, give myself as an example. I could stand to lose a few more pounds. I had lost some, put a few back on. But that's for my personal health reason and everything. But I am not trying to impress anybody body-wise like that. But if I were going to compete in anything, you better believe I would have to have the discipline and buckle down to prepare myself to be in the mix of things. I guarantee you Kownacki will look the same way that he looked last night when you see him 3 months from now, but a little bigger.
Yeah.
And that's why I said about the people who train him and everything. If you watched him in the gym You could see he couldn't get out of the way of nothing. He couldn't get out of the way of Robert Hellenius. He couldn't get out of the way because he was too big.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. In boxing, the disciplines of preparation are what really give the fighters their edge. When you know that you are in condition, when you know that you can go through a wall, and you're angry about the sacrifices and the denials and discipline that you had to put before yourself to get there. And when you do that, you fight like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evander Holyfield was one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the sport. But I could tell when he stopped running. I could tell. The performance showed it. Now, he might have thought with his veteran experience and everything that, you know, I can cut the corner here because I'm still doing my gym workouts and everything. No. For a professional fighter, road work is a premium. It's a premium, y'all. 5 to 6 miles daily. And when you're not fighting, 3 miles a day. Because what happens is you get that heart rate up to a certain place and your body is conditioned to responding to the demands of it. You got Drew Titan on here who works out daily. He can tell you that I'm not lying.
No bullshit.
So when you see these guys out here and they are underperforming, and you see everybody, do you notice that a lot of the people that do content, they question things. I heard people talking about J-Rock and saying about his conditioning or whatever. But when you think about it, the conditioning is poor because the approach to the sport is poor. Bruce Lee once said about professional athletes, too much time is given to the dedication of the athlete in participating in the sport that they participate in instead of the development and cultivation of the individual who participates. You see? So while you telling the bartender late at night in the club, one more round, that's one less round you go in the ring.
That's right.
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. So they could have thrown the towel in on his career after his first professional fight when they saw him and he looked not unlike he looked last night. He just done strung about 20 plus of them together. And who wants to see that? Not me.
We ain't lying.
So when you talk about where he should give it up, he should have gave it up 20 fights ago.
Yep.
Because he didn't have the dedication.
Stormy, what does that say about the people he hired to get him ready for fights? What does that say about them?
It says what I say about them all the time. The training and the coaching is in the garbage of today. And let's not be deceived because you have musculature and equate that with being in shape, because bodies are different. Some people come out of the womb as little children and have muscles. You can see little boys 5-6 years old, they body. Y'all remember Young Hercules, the TV show?
Yeah.
Remember that little kid, the muscles he had?
That was ridiculous.
And if you see him today, he looks absolutely nothing like that. You would have thought he would grow up to be a man and look like Arnold or something, right?
Yep.
Nope. He looks like Bob from Bob's Furniture or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let it all go.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to you all is the truth. I am not saying this to try to grandstand or anything, but we're talking about a sport where you get punched in the head for a living. But the idea of it is to hit and not get hit, right? That's the cliche people speak all the time. Well, how many times did Kownacki get hit in the head last night? And when you equate that with the fact that he's not in shape, you have to ask yourself, you have to ask his trainers, what the hell was he doing in there?
Everybody getting paid, so.
But you see, somebody is getting hurt, and it ain't the coaches and trainers. But would you entrust them or your life in their hands? Think about it. I talk about this stuff all the time.
All the time. All the time.
You see how Deontay thought putting on a little more mass and everything would serve him better against Fury. And he actually did himself a disservice.
Yeah.
Because he tried to match physicalities.
Let me explain for those that don't know. Y'all remember Fury Wilder 3? Deontay came in at 240. And he looked great. He looked menacing. He packed on the correct weight. He had a six-pack. That's how you know you gain good weight. He had a dietitian and everything, but it wasn't what he was used to. So towards the end of the fight, he was fighting on fumes. You can tell by the performance, you know, along with the other bullshit that we all talk about. But when he fought Helenius in Brooklyn, I asked him, I said, you good? He said, I'm at my happy weight. That's what he told us. I'm at my happy weight. When he got off that scale at the weigh-in, it said 214. 214. And he said, I'm at my happy weight. And you saw it. He was light. He was athletic. And you saw he got the job done.
Fast.
He was very fast. The 240, I know what they were trying to do, but now we see that was a bad, with other shit in play, it was a bad idea as far as his cardio was concerned. So that's what Stormy's talking about. You understand? That's not always, you have to go with what you're comfortable with. In him, like Stormy said, the best heavyweights were in the low 200s. Larry Holmes, I didn't know he was even that light, 209. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was 209.
Wow. I had no idea. And if I missed you in the chat, just know that I love you, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. But Stormy talks about this all the time on his channel. And these are the intangibles that people don't even discuss. And I think Adam Kownacki, again, if he was in his best physical shape, let's say Adam Kownacki dropped down to 220, which I think is because he's tall. He's about an inch or two taller than me. I met him in Vegas. He genetically, he's not a physical specimen. But he would look to be in better shape than he looked, like we saw last night.
When I saw the tail of the tape, he was at 250 something.
That's
Dude, do you know that's like one of my high weights when I'm just walking around? Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if he were to get down to 225 to 228, you would see a whole different man.
Whole different.
But see, it's the lack of discipline and the lack of desire to get the most, the optimum out of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not boxing, so I can walk around like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I decided that I wanted to do anything of a physical nature, I know that, better push that table back. Let me drop.
Stormy.
Because that's important to understand that your body can respond. Your knees and everything can't hold up carrying all that excess, bro.
It can't. Let me ask you, let me point to my brother Cono Loco in the building. Salute. And I see y'all. Michael Ray, what up? No Smoke, Rodney, what up? Yo, do y'all understand that Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz with a jab because Andy wasn't athletic enough just to get out of the way? Because Andy, his punch output was down because he knew if he tried to swing for the fences, he'd get tired. If Andy came in at the weight that he came in when he fought Chris Arreola, he beats AJ, man. He beats AJ.
And if he got a little bit more disciplined than that and came in around, let's just give him 230. That's still a lot.
It is.
But 230 for him, he'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You see how better Chris Arreola's better now than he was in his prime. Because he always had a weight problem too. But I've seen him, and it looks like he's kept his weight under control. He's fighting at his lowest weights now, and he's looking better. And he's older now. So just because there's no weight cap at heavyweight, that don't mean you got to come in at your biggest, man. You really don't. And I know, look, guys, it's a little confusing because George Foreman, this is a perfect example. George Foreman's second run at his career, the man done lost his hair. He was in the high 200s, and he was standing in between rounds. Now, and that was unheard of. And it makes you wonder, from what I understand, he didn't really focus on cardio in his prime, in the 70s. It makes you wonder if he took his cardio more serious back then, he might not have ran out of gas fighting Ali. Cardio was so key. Now you factor in he was older. He done abused his, like when I say abuse his body, I'm not talking about drugs. I mean, he just ate and genetics kicked in. So that was just his physique as an older man. But his cardio got better with age.
And I'll tell you something else that he did in his second career. He started lifting weights.
Yes.
To give his biceps, to get them bigger.
Yes.
So he can cover himself. Do you know that was a strategy and a tactic that he thought of on his own? Because Archie Moore, who had been a part of his career for a long time, even going back to his first career, but they come up with a way that you got to be able to protect yourself, George. So he increased the size of his arms. It wasn't about punching with power. It wasn't even about being body beautiful.
Right.
He added the mass to his arms because George always fought and used his arms. Go back and watch the young George Foreman.
Yeah.
He'd make you punch off of his arms. He would stick his arms out. Ali called him the mummy because he would come forward with his hands like this sometimes.
He'd parry a lot of punches too.
Exactly. And so when he got older and he didn't have the foot speed, so the cross arm defense and the crab defense were able to put him in a closer range to opponents, and he was already hammer fisted. So his short punches inside were decapitating people.
George Foreman in his later years was built like a power lifter. You could tell by his chest, his shoulders, his biceps. He was built like a power lifter. He wasn't built like how Chris Arreola was built in the 90s, or like how like how he's built now, like Andy Ruiz is built now, like how Adam Kownacki's built now. You can tell, pause y'all, this is bodybuilding shit right here. Look at the way their chest is built. All right. Adam Kownacki got man boobs. To be honest, he got man boobs. Andy Ruiz's chest is built different. It's built different. I bet you Andy Ruiz could bench press 300 pounds. I bet you George Foreman could, in his prime, I mean, the second half of his career, I bet you he could bounce 4 or 5 off his chest. I bet you. But look at the way Chris Arreola was built. All right, look at how Adam Kownacki's built. Those guys will gas out at 30 push-ups. I promise you they would. 30 for 30, they'd be done. I'm telling you. George Foreman was built different. And in his older age, the second part of his career, you have to get creative. You have to get creative on how you get your cardio work in. All right. I watched Coach Amber, what she said in the chat. The bigger guys, you got to watch how you run because they're naturally bigger. It could mess up your knees. But the bike, very good. The bike is very good. You know, but George, you're right. He did a lot of curls. I saw a few training videos when he was showing his training on HBO back in the day, and I saw him on the bicep curl, and I found that strange at first. I'm like, that contradicts. I thought it contradicts what you do for boxing. When I was boxing, I couldn't power lift because those two trainings contradict with each other. They do. You can't do both. What George did was he built his biceps because it helped him do what he needed to get done. He wasn't always the best defensively responsible person as far as head movement, but as far as covering up, he was. And like Stormy said, he was already heavy-handed. You get in the pocket with him, and you trying to hit him, and he's blocking. All you got to do is right in the liver, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. You know, George was, I don't know many guys that could have did what George did, but the people that trained him later in life, those guys was freaking geniuses, man. Because they use his attributes, and he had a second run that was unlike anything we've seen. For real.
Yeah, and George took one of the most common strategies for extending stamina.
Yeah.
He sparred longer rounds.
Yes.
You know, sometimes 4 minutes, sometimes 6 minute rounds. And the whole idea of that was to get comfortable in the round, to know that the beginning of the round and the end of the round feels the same for you because it's about relaxing.
Yeah.
See, when you're relaxed, you can respond naturally to almost anything. A sudden movement, jumping, from one spot to another or whatever. Your anticipation and reflective actions are more rejuvenated when you're relaxed. When you're tensed up or even fatigued, you don't get the same type of responses.
Yeah. So in closing with Adam, if Adam chooses to go forward and you see him at the weigh-in and he looks exactly the same and he's still around 250 or whatever, he's not serious. He's not serious. You understand? As far as his physique is concerned, like I said, genetically, he's never going to look like Anthony Joshua genetically. But if he walks in and he steps on that scale and it says 220, 225, then that means he's serious and he worked on some things. But if he comes in there again at 250, 260, just chalk it up, man. Right now it's a punching bag, and at this point it's dangerous because he's going to get himself hurt. What I saw last night, I'm like, wow, here we go again. Understand, this guy was a major contender 2 years ago. Remember that. I remember when he beat, I think it was the Chris Arreola fight. When he got the nod over that, he sat down next to Deontay and told him, hey, man, I'm coming. Remember, he said it straight to Deontay, and they shook hands and dapped it up. He says, yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just like, I'm coming for you. And respect due. You're supposed to talk your shit. And then right after that, he ran into Robert Helenius.
Well, we found out that when he said he was coming, he thought he was going to come down to Alabama and get some of that good down-home cooking.
Yeah.
That's what he was coming for.
He was coming down to Alabama, some collards.
That's what he had heard the talk about that food, yeah. And he was coming for that. He wasn't coming for no competition in the ring. I can guarantee you that.
He's coming for some mustard greens, neck bones. He's coming for some soul food. That's what he meant. But in all seriousness, he I don't know what's with him. And at this point, if he's not gonna get himself into shape, because strategic wise, he hasn't changed. So what's the point in adding something to your camp or changing something in your camp when you're not going to listen? So I don't know what he's going to do. And at this point, it's a safety. He has a new baby. Take care of your child and make sure you keep all your marbles, because what I saw last night was like it was concerning. I'll know he's serious when he steps on the scale and it says 220. Salute to TD Harden in that super chat. Much love and appreciation. He says, love y'all's content, man. We love you, man. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much. So with that being said, let's move on. I'm going to go to Berlanga. I'm going to save Adamus for last. Berlanga, did you watch his fight last night, Stormy?
Still haven't had a chance to get through it. I know the results and everything.
Yeah.
But even with not seeing his fight, I feel the same about him, whether I've seen him or not. Definitely another kid that they fed a whole host of bowling pins to early in his career.
Yeah.
And he's at a point where it's time to step up. Now, having a victory over Jason Quigley, you have to understand that when you look at what Demetrius Andre did to Jason Quigley, it really tells you where Quigley is with a world-class fighter and where he is with the fighter like Berlanga. And Berlanga has a lot of work to do still. I understand that he's made some changes with trainers and stuff like that. But has he changed his psychological approach to the sport? Because that's where he's going to run into problems. And I've already seen what I needed to see from him when he bit somebody in the ring. I don't forget those things. I don't forget those things. That's like a man, for you to say, oh, that's kind of harsh, Stormy. Well, let me put it in a more crystallized view for you. A man who rears off and slaps a woman and knocks her almost out. When he does that and he's lost his discipline to that, do you look at him the same from that point on? No. You look at him different from that point on, right? You look at him with harshness, harsh criticalness and everything, right? Because that he wasn't supposed to lose his discipline and do that, but he did.
Yeah.
And this man, young man, knows what the rules are in professional boxing. Hell, he's old enough to remember when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield.
Everyone knows. Everyone saw that.
So why is that okay for you? And why should I overlook that? Why should I, that's the past. Let's leave it in the past. No, I'm waiting for the rest because it's still to come. And the rest comes with the test. Last night was not a test. That was a guy to get his feet wet with the zone. That's all that was.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Let me say this. God damn. My God. Here we are talking boxing and, I got some cat drooling over me, like legitimately. I'm not your father, man. Damn. Your mom swallowed. That's how I know it was 1998. Your mom swallowed. So relax. Get out my chat. Damn. Go find your pops. Anyway. I watched the fight. Quigley was in survival mode. Berlanga. Let me go through the good about Berlanga. First of all, he's Puerto Rican. He has a great support system. He's Terror Squad. Fat Joe backs him and stuff like that. So support is not going to be a problem. If you key victories for him. And who knows? You know, he could be in the big room in New York. You know, but he has work to do. He has work to do. He didn't bite anybody last night. Johnny Q, I was just going there, brother. Jay Grant, I was just going there. Right now, as it stands, and since Eddie Hearn is already a horrible matchmaker as it is, both of those guys on the zone. The fight to make right now would be Mexico versus Puerto Rico, Munguia versus Berlanga. And I'll tell you why. That'll be an exciting fight. Because I can't tell you who wins that fight. I think, watch it, what's going on, brother? I think, and you're right, Draw 631. Berlanga gets hit a lot. He's not defensively responsible. But neither is Munguia. You know what I'm saying? Neither is Munguia. Both of them are game, and both of them want their big payday. If Triple G was smart, he would fight either one of them right now. And Triple G could say, I dethroned a young and up-and-coming lion. You already ducked Lara. That's a fight you can't win. Why am I saying that? Because if you thought you could have won it, you could have fought him 7 to 8 years ago. You ducked him recently, and Triple G just threw some belts in the garbage. He could fight Munguia or Berlanga, and I think Triple G could beat both of them. I think so. So Munguia, and since they're on the zone, Munguia, hold on, let me turn my camera off. I gotta blow my nose. Munguia is perfect for Berlanga. I'd actually go to that fight if they had it at the Garden. I'd actually go to that fight. But right now, you know, Munguia was calling Canelo's name. From what I saw last night, no. Especially since now Canelo doesn't sound with the PBC. But speaking of which, here's what I want to point out. This brother called out. All right, Canelo's not going to fight. What's his name? I'm having a brain fart right now. What's his name? At 168.
Benavidez.
He's not going to fight David Benavidez. He's not going to entertain David Morrell right now. He wants to fight Jaime Munguia, who's ranked number 2 in the WBC. But Stormy, he's ignoring Christian Mbele, who's ranked number 1. You see this? Now you see this?
I'm not surprised.
You see? So I looked at the rankings and I said, wait a minute. I said, okay, he's right in line to fight Canelo. Canelo's not fighting him. Canelo just signed with the PBC. Hey, listen, he's although he's in the PBC, it's yet to be seen if you know, I don't know how much the money is. I don't know if it's a 2-fight deal, 3-fight deal. I don't know. But if he decides to fight anybody of relevance in the PBC, that's yet to be seen. And if Al Heyman allowed him to come over here and fight like Banana and Derevyanchenko, whoever, anybody but who we want to see, I'm gonna be like, yo, I don't know what the hell that's about. But what I do know is Canelo's not fighting him. He called out Munguia, and I'm looking at the rankings, and I said, Munguia's 2. Who's 1? Christian Mbele. Now, what do we know about high risk and low reward? I told y'all, go YouTube Christian Mbele, and it'll all make sense. You would think he's made to order for Benavidez, but it could be Benavidez is made to order for him, because Christian Mbele does not stop. The man does not stop. Watching him. Think about this, y'all. Let me see how far back y'all go. When the fight was announced on Showtime Boxing After Dark, I think it was Boxing After Dark, and you said, "Oh my God, David Tua is fighting. Who's he fighting?" A guy named Ike Ibeabuchi. And because they put David Tua on his pedestal, he was like heir to the throne. He was Mike Tyson-esque, right? You're like, "Oh well, David got this." And then the bell rang. And then you're up to round 6, and you notice this guy wasn't outboxing him. Not like how Chris Bird outboxed David Tua. No. Ike was in the pocket going blow for blow with this guy. And he outslugged David Tua. And he had a better education in that ring, which I was watching that like, yo. Now go watch Christian and Billy. Now that I put that out there, go watch him. And there's a reason why David may not have said Christian and Billy's name. I'm just saying. Stormy, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna simply add on to and when Ike was doing his thing after he fought and beat David Tua, I told my colleagues, everybody I was hanging out with around at that time, I said, that's the guy to knock Lennox Lewis out right there. That's the guy to knock Lennox Lewis out right there. Lennox can try to box. He can try to do all these other things, but he was everything that was Lennox's problem.
Yep.
The young Mike Tyson, who was very evasive and all of that, would have given Lennox a different type fight, the Lennox that was trained with Emmanuel and stuff, but he still had the psychological issues, even though he was a younger guy and was more dynamic in his youth. But Ike was a physical presence that was it was something. There's a reason that he got sent away. You know what I'm saying? And he did that to himself. So at the end of the day, you have to understand the psychological aspect of boxing. It does rear its head. But we're talking about on the ability to get in there. That was going to be the guy to get in Lennox's crawl, because Lennox would not have been able to keep him off of him.
Yeah.
And he could take a shot too. So it's like, now what do you do? You know what I mean? And you mentioned Chris Bird. Do you remember what he did to Chris Bird?
Oh my God.
Nobody did Chris Bird like that. Nobody. Chris Bird was still talking and slobbering and everything when the fight was over. He didn't even know he was knocked out. He didn't know. Go back and watch the fight.
That was bad. And let me add this. When Mike got out of prison, I think a lot of guys available for him to fight. I think Ike was there. I think David Tua was there. But Jesus Christ. Look at this dude. Dude, you know I have your real email, right? Are you familiar with the new Google rules? Jesus Christ. My dick is big. And I know your mom told you, but I'm not your father. Jesus Christ. Y'all go ahead and smack him around. Anyway. But when Mike got out of prison, I was saying, man, I wonder how Mike will fare up against Ike Ibeabuchi. And that shit never happened. Because I think Ike would have ruined him. Ike was no joke. But Christian and Billy, I need to know why. Look, I know Jaime Munguia. People are going to tell me, okay, it makes more business sense. Can I ask you fans a question? The fans, let me talk to the fans for a minute. Are you concerned about what makes more sense business-wise? Or do you want to see a balls to the wall fight? Because right now, you talk about business sense. Right now, you know Benavidez beats Munguia. Y'all know that. Do you want to see that? Or do you want to see him tested? And right now, Munguia's on DAZN. He called he called out Munguia. One's in the PBC, Munguia's with the Zone. But now Berlanga and Munguia are both on the Zone. That fight's easy to make, and that's an exciting fight. So if Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez, David, go ahead and fight Christian and Billy. I want to see something. I want to see something exciting. I want to see a fight the way I'm not sure if you're going to win or not. And I'm not saying he's going to lose either. Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Oh, thank you. I mean, these dudes don't know the rules of Google now. They're doing. I'm not even going to talk. I'm going to talk. Y'all know somebody paid me already, right? Remember when about 2 years ago I was talking about cloned accounts and things of that nature and doxing? Y'all know somebody paid me already, right? See, I don't talk much. Just know that somebody paid me already. And you don't see them doing content. Well, whatever.
No more disclosure. Just leave
No more.
You know, because you remember that scene in 300 when he said, "This is Sparta," and he kicked that dude into that hole, the bottomless pit.
Yep.
Let them fall.
My brother L Dubs in the building. Let me tell y'all something. This man has a crystal ball. All right. Y'all need to go to his website. All right. His news is every bit as thorough as Boxing Scene or World Boxing News. He says, "What's good? Can you speak on the Billy's next fight date and opponent?" I don't know who is it, L Dub. Shame on me for not knowing. Who is it? Put it in the chat for me, L Dub. Put it in the chat for me, please. Matter of fact, since I have that here, let me pull up L Dub's his I got it bookmarked. And put up L Dub's this is his website. You can get your boxing news from L Dub. We put this in the chat right here. L Dub, are we lying about Christian and Billy? DeMont Nicholson on August 19th on the Beterbiev versus Smith undercard. Woo! All right. Mo Boxing, what's going on? Where's the location for that, L Dub? Where's the location for that? Educate me on that.
That'll be in Canada.
It'll be in Canada? So technically, Beterbiev will be at home.
Yeah.
Bro, this right here. Now,
DeMont Nicholson, that's that guy that Andre just beat.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick in Billy to win that by stoppage somewhere late in the fight. This right here. When does Billy fight, by the way? Is he a DAZN fighter?
Well, that last fight he had was on ESPN, so I think he's an ESPN fighter.
Top rank?
Yeah.
Shit. And this is the part of the boxing that we can't stand, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, as it stands right now, you see Benavidez called out Munguia. Go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the stats on it. It says Barb Arum, Top Rank, is the promoter. And it's ESPN. Yeah.
Okay. So y'all see what's going on. Benavidez called out Munguia. Munguia's on DAZN. Munguia and Berlanga makes more sense. Munguia is ranked number 2 in the WBC, and Billy's number 1, but he's on Top Rank. So if Benavidez can call out a DAZN fighter, why can't he call out a Top Rank fighter?
Well, this is the thing that's funny about that. Janibek fights on Top Rank too, and he's the WBO champion. but I don't think Bob want to put Janet back in there with him, Billy.
No.
You don't want to do that.
No. And salute to my brother T.D. Harden back in that super chat. He said boxing is looking a bit like boxing again. It is. We have a lot of talent in there. We just got to get them to meet in the ring. Got a lot of talent. L-Dub says, and Billy is with Eye of the Tiger Promotions. He's not with Top Rank. Oh, okay. Top Rank has a deal with Beterbiev in Eye of the Tiger. So what does that mean, L-Dub? So what I want to know, L-Dub, is it in Billy versus Benavidez fight actually possible before the year's out? Because I don't expect Benavidez to sit on the shelf. We're only 6 months in. So does that make sense? Because Munguia,
if he fights Benavidez, this is the first time y'all see Benavidez get knocked out.
Bro, y'all really don't understand what we're saying, man. I know y'all never heard of him, Billy. We've been talking about him for a reason. Do you remember that scene in Rocky 2 when they were in the office and Apollo's like, I got to fight Stallion again. And he threw everyone out the room. He said, Apollo, look. He said, I could beat this guy. He said, no, look, man, something bothers me about him. He said, what? He said, champ, he kept coming. He kept coming. That bothered him. And Billy, this dude's not going to stop. Now, will he win? I don't know. But based off what I'm telling you, listen, Benavidez beats Berlanga, in my opinion. Benavidez beats Munguia, in my opinion. I don't know if he beats Billy. And I'm looking at the rankings. Why would you call out the number 2 guy when the mandatory is not, when you're the mandatory for the champ, he's not fighting you, and the number 1 guy is just sitting there? Why would you call out the number 2 guy? There's a reason why.
Cataracts.
L-Dub says, I doubt it unless the WBC orders that fight, which is unlikely. Well, there you have it. There you have it. He said cataracts.
Whoa!
What?
I'm telling you straight up and down, man. How you calling out Munguia? That's a money fight. People will pay to see it. And Munguia's game, he wants his shot. Listen, man, go fight Triple G. He's there to be taken. Can somebody get rid of Triple G's old ass now? Can someone finally do it?
I think he's done. I think he's done. He ain't gonna fight no more.
Can he beat Munguia?
Who? Triple G?
Yeah.
No. I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Remember the tough fight he had with the guy in Japan?
Murata.
Yeah.
Yep.
Munguia is better than that guy.
He is. What about Berlanga?
And Triple G is several years older since fighting that guy.
Yeah, damn. That was like 3 years ago, was it not? Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Damn. Now, Derevyanchenko, that just goes to show how good he really is, and he should have got the decision over Triple G. Because at 37, he was, I said this before, I'll say it tonight again on this show, he was using Munguia's head like you use a speed bag in the gym. He was hitting that dude upside his head. It looked like his head and Munguia's, his fist and Munguia's head had a special correspondence of communication. You know, it's like, he was hitting the guy. But no, Triple G, so faded and slowed down, Munguia can beat him now.
What about Berlanga?
With Triple G?
Yeah.
I think he can beat Triple G. Basically, because he's younger and more spry. There's a lot of stack. Listen, man, Triple G is faded. Did you see him against Canelo? Dude.
Yeah. He couldn't pull the trigger.
Like that old movie with Sylvester Stallone and what was that? De Niro, when they were playing the two old fighters or something. That's what they look like in there, bro. Nobody wants to see that. And Berlanga, Triple G ain't gonna take that fight. Triple G, if he fights again, he wants to fight a guy that's not gonna be able to hurt him. That might be a John Ryder. Because John Ryder is tough, he'll give you the rounds and everything, but he ain't gonna knock you out. And there's something about these guys, they got the fear of being knocked out, Drew, in chat. They really do. They fear that shit. And that's what makes them not take the risk. It's okay for them to be in the lane of knocking the other dude out, huh? But they don't want to be, well, I could be knocked out. No, they don't want to take those fights. I've never seen boxing like this, you know, at this particular place in time. In the past, hey, it used to be, hey, you knock me out, I knock him out. You know, that kind of thing. But now, these guys are like, it's like a phobia, a true phobia. What I really loved about that fight last night between, and I know we ain't got there yet, but I'm just making a point about it, between J-Rock and Adamus, was J-Rock wasn't afraid.
Nope.
He didn't fight afraid. He fought to the best of his ability. And even when he got hurt, he was resilient and trying to come back. These guys of today, man, they don't want to, it's like, I ain't going to be able to look my best.
Unbelievable.
And when I say it, it's like, when you think about it, that's actually what it is. It's like, they don't want to risk. And it's not like everybody out there is like Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not even the case. But these guys, man, that's why you have to really give it to people like Deontay and Devin, you know, because they'll go in there. They don't care who the other guy is.
That's right. That's right. Ain't that something? There's nothing embarrassing about being knocked out when you get up off the floor and your bank account says $10 million. Look, shit. Even if it says 500,000, ain't you embarrassed? There's dudes that won't even get in the ring and spar.
Yeah.
You understand? God damn. So since we were on it then, since we can't figure out what Benavidez is doing, I'll just go on record and saying this. I fucks with Benavidez, but that call out to Munguia got me looking at him kind of sideways. Like, bro, and Billy. That's more impressive to me. But I know, look, Munguia makes way more money. That right there, that fight right there, of course, you know. But whatever. So let's get to let me finish up on Berlanga. He looked okay. He didn't look explosive. Quigley was in survival mode in the second half of the fight. He never posed any legitimate threat. He was brought in to lose, and that's what he did. Berlanga was beating his ass.
I'm laughing at seen and unseen comment there. That's kind of funny.
Which one?
The one before his last one.
Oh, I do believe that I will bleed. No. Man, DOG.
That's it right there.
Yeah, true story. Yeah, man. I'm still not, you know, he was very calm at the end of the fight. You know, he thanked his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, he had a lot of people in there supporting him. You know, that's real dope. He's going to have a fan base, but is he a rock star? No. I think the audience likes Xander Zayas way too much. Yeah, Mo, we covered Kownacki. You got to go to the beginning, and we covered him, Mo. It was the guy got to take his career a little more serious, man. That's just crazy. But Berlanga, it was just I was not impressed. Like he won, but I wasn't like, there was nothing that made me say, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't a shot towards him or nothing like that. he promised that the way they ended the fight last night, that's how all of the fights will look moving forward in the first round. That's what he said. Now, that depends on who Eddie Hearn decides to put him in the goddamn ring with. Because depending on who Eddie Hearn puts him in the ring with, I'll believe it. If he puts him in the ring with a Liam Calum or whatever the hell, fine. But if they pull some strings and get him a fight somehow with Benavidez, no, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Again, he mentioned the Canelo fight prior to Canelo leaving. Bro, look. The fella's not ready. The fella's not ready. But right now, I think a good fight would be him versus Berlanga. I mean, Berlanga versus Munguia. That'll be a fun-ass fight. We might get 2 fights out of that. That'll be fun. I like that, man. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, man. Watch it says, can you believe back in 2019 when people were saying Deontay was avoiding Kownacki? Oh, they were saying that. I remember they were saying that. Yeah, they were I remember that. I remember that. We might be able to put, let me see something. I'm gonna pull up an old article. Wilder ducking Kownacki. Let me see. 2019, Kownacki's manager convinced he can beat Deontay Wilder. Dominic Brazil accuses Adam Kownacki of ducking. Adam Kownacki TKO's Washington. I remember he beat Washington, and he called out Deontay Wilder. That was the night he called him out.
And salute to Gerald Washington, man. The dude don't fear being knocked out.
That's right.
He's been knocked out a lot, you know. When he get back in there and fight.
Let me see. This is an old one. What is this? Whatever, man. When you go back and read some of these old tweets, oh man, we could do a whole show on what I'm reading here. This is incredible. Deontay has ducked everybody from Kownacki to Ortiz 2 times to Povetkin. Gerald Washington. Wow. We could do a whole show on that alone. This is just crazy what I'm reading. Joe Townsend in the building. Salute. DOG. Bill D. What up? Yeah, you're right, Mo Boxing. He should have took the AJ payday 2019. That was on the table. Let's talk about Adamus and report card for Berlanga. I'll give him a B+ because he did what he was supposed to do against Quigley. But it was Quigley. You know, whatever. So now Adamus versus J-Rock. Here's what I saw. I saw some bullshit. I did. I saw some bullshit. First of all, boxing makes me sick sometimes. It really does. It makes me sick more times than it makes me smile. If y'all are cool with what you saw last night, there's something wrong with y'all. Now let me say this so I'm clear. Did I think J-Rock was gonna win? No. Do I think he could have gotten knocked out had the ref not stepped in? Yeah, there's a possibility. Could he have gotten knocked out that round? Probably. Next round? Probably. Does he lose on the cards? More than likely, yes. No, not more than likely. Yes, he loses on the cards. But that's not the point that I'm making here. The point is, the man was robbed of his opportunity of going out on his shield. I want you guys to think back a fighter by the name of Arturo Gatti, the blood and guts warrior. He has highlight reels of him getting knocked on his ass. I mean, head wobbling. Look at the Ivan Robinson fights that he had. Look at those fights. Those fights couldn't exist today. If you didn't hit Arturo Gatti in the face, he would get offended. You kidding me? Go watch. Fuck, go watch. I'll pull it up. Angel Manfredi versus Arturo Gatti. Angel Manfredi versus Arturo Gatti. Angel knocked him on his ass so bad. I don't know how the hell he... Bro, where's that? There it is. There you go. I'm just going to go ahead and share the screen. I want y'all to see this, man. Fair use, motherfuckers. God damn it. Look at this. All right, that was the end of the round. Look, watch this. Boom! Look how it landed, y'all. Look at that. They didn't even think about stopping the fight. You know why? I don't remember how many fights in his career, but this was like every other fight. He was getting knocked on his ass or getting punched up in his face like this. You understand? Gatti won. You remember when Gatti hit him with the body shot and he damn near turned his back on him? Today, they jumping in and waving the fight. Unless he's the A side. You kidding me? When Deontay leveled Fury. Y'all want to go there? When Deontay leveled Fury in their first fight. Where was Jack Reese saying, oh, no. Nope. Y'all remember when, let me show y'all something else. Watch this shit. Y'all gonna remember this. Now, this is too much. God damn, it gave me the same thing. Where's that? Boom. This is bad quality. But I don't want to play the good quality because you know. Y'all remember when Kendall Holt knocked down Tim Bradley? Y'all remember that?
Man, that was a while ago, yeah.
That was crazy. Look. Boom. That's Tim Bradley, y'all. And guess what, y'all? Y'all want to know something? Tim came back and won that fight. You see that? You got to be kidding me. Tim Bradley, the Desert Storm, came back and won that fight. He came back. And that was a bet. I watched that fight. I said, oh, it's over. And Tim got up. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? When he hit him, I said, oh, man. Oh, my God, it's over. Tim got up and then out-hustled Kendall Holt and beat him. Today, depending on who the ref is, no. I gotta find better quality for y'all. I don't care if they flag it or no. Y'all got to see this in better quality. Kendall Holt knocked the shit out of him. Let me find a better. I'm gonna find better quality. Look, yeah, this is in high def. Yeah, this is better. Where's that? No, he knocked the shit out of him, man. He hit him with a left. I don't even know what round that was. He knocked the shit out of Tim. My point is, y'all. These refs, they're doing too much, y'all. And they are determining the outcomes of fights. And no one seems to care but us. No one seems to care. I want you to understand something. J-Rock could have had a brilliant comeback sometime during that fight. He could have had a brilliant comeback, and he was robbed. He was tired and he was hurt, but he wasn't off his feet. He was tired, he was hurt, but he wasn't off his feet. Like we've seen a lot of fighters. And this is disgusting that it keeps happening. And it's too close between Rolly Romero's situation, this situation last night, and Errol Spence getting on Twitter saying, I feel like I've been played or I'm being played. All of this stuff is happening in the same time frame, and you guys gotta fucking think, man. You gotta think now. What's really going on? That's right, Jay Gibson. Otto Wallin versus Fury. The last time I saw a cut like that, it was Vitaly Klitschko versus Lennox Lewis, and they stopped it. That's the only other time I saw a cut like that. Joe Townsend in the building. Stormy, what you got on that, brother?
Yeah, the ref stepping in like he did. The point you make is very valid, that we don't see enough of present day comebacks and everything when refs are imposing themselves on fights. Fighters, especially at the top level of the sport, where you have a former world champion in J-Rock, regardless if he's been stopped in the past, but based on the merit of his resiliency in this fight alone, he got shook a couple of times in this fight and continued to fight. In fact, one of the rounds, I think the fourth round, he got shook pretty good and came back and won the fifth. You know, it's like, and won it strongly. Yep. Because he was focused and he was dedicated to this night, which is another assessment that referees need to look at things, because you have to understand that if a guy is giving himself to a match, you have to let it go to its conclusion. If anybody's going to stop it, let the corner stop it.
Yep.
And Breadman, when he came in and he made his points in the aftermath, they were spot on. If Adamus was in the same type of peril, would the ref have stepped in like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like he was the so-called A-side in the fight. We saw it just recently in the Rolly Romero fight. And what was interesting about that, and I hope that Tony Weeks, I don't care what he does in his personal life, but I hope he never gets another refereeing job ever. What he did in that fight was utter corrupt. It's like there's no other way to look at it. whether someone paid him off or whatever. You can speculate all you want. All I know is he made a determination on that night that I can't let the opponent win against Rolly, and he stepped in. Rolly was throwing us a series of shots at the man that nothing landed. When the replay showed, the man was bobbing and weaving and getting out of the way, and the ref stepped in and, stopped it. We're seeing it too much.
Yep.
And then we used Fury versus Wallen as a major talking point in this, because Fury's eye was leaking like he had been to the butcher, and Wallen was going upside his head. He had turned the fight in his favor, and instead of stopping the fight on the cut and awarding a TKO victory to Wallen, they let Fury bleed almost to death and make it to the final bell, where they could adjust the scorecards and still pull him out as the victor. And what's interesting is, in a tough fight like that, a so-called world champion, the king of the heavyweights and all of this, should say, man, you know what? People feel I should run that back, and I want to run it back against the guy because I want to show my dominance, my superiority. You think he said that? No. He took his kilo and he ran away. You understand? So it's like, listen, what we're seeing, even in the Lubin fight,
Yep.
where the ref counted so quickly, second half of the count, that I'm like, where was he when Tyson Fury was laying on the canvas in the first Deontay Wilder fight? That guy was counting, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, whoa, you understand? And he actually, because I paid attention, he picked the count up, because he did tell Lubin to go to the neutral corner, and he looked outside the ring for the counter, and the counter was at 5, and that's where he picked the count up. He didn't start at 1 or 2. He picked it up from where the man outside the ring had been counting, but the rest of the count was kind of fast. Now, yes, Arias waited till between 9 and 10 to get up instead of between 8 and 9, and that's open for conjecture, because you can actually make the case that maybe Arias had enough, because Lubin was going upside his head.
Yeah.
And the referee finished that count off very quickly, but then we have referees like Jack Reese who decide I did what's best for boxing. Whoa, who anointed you with that? Who anointed you with that? And then we've seen guys get shaken and rocked, and Reese jumps in and waves it off. So where's doing what's best for boxing? The guy who got shaken or rocked, you wave it off on him, and he wasn't a side. But in this fight with Fury, you literally gave Fury that, what do they call that when you're in the emergency room and they try to give you the shock treatment to bring you back? The electroshock, you clear, and and they shock Fury back. But Fury himself said he was out. This is not fantasy. I'm not making it up. Fury said it himself. I was out. We could see he was out. His eyes were fixed to the lights above, and he was just breathing, but he was unconscious with his eyes open.
His eyes open.
Jack Reese had the closest seat in the house. He's literally leaned over. What other ref? Did the ref get down on his knees and count in Arias' face last night? No. So what was Jack Reese doing? Yelling the count in Fury's ear to wake him up. Yep. That's corruption. You're doing too much. Tony Weeks, you're doing too much. Jack Reese, you're doing too much. The ref from last night in both the co-main and the main event. You guys are corrupt. And somebody, again, needs to say more on this. Bigger voices, greater than ours, need to say something, man. It is ridiculous, because the fighters, at the end of the day, you give them this moment for their time of greatness. Who knows? J-Rock finishes that round out, survives, and Adamus may have a mental breakdown and decide, man, I done did what I could to this guy, and now he's giving up. You know, it has happened in the past. So when you got a ref who pulls the trigger like that and jumps the gun, it's like, what are you doing? And I talked about last night the referee in the first fight of the night, when Bornea's ear had that hematoma on it, and it burst.
Yeah.
And the ref was supposed to call timeout and go to the doctor and let the doctor call the fight. He didn't do that. He let the fight go on, and it went a couple more rounds, and the guy bled all over the place. But also, Martinez has scored more in those couple of rounds and widening the gap between them when the gap was actually closer at the time that ear injury happened. And had they gone to the scorecards, who knows? Maybe it's a split decision draw, or maybe a split decision for Bornea, or a split decision for Martinez, but at least you go to the scorecards like that. But now the young man has a TKO loss on his record because y'all let the fight go, and then the ref decides all of a sudden in the 11th round or whatever, oh, I need to stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? That's the 11th round. You let it go 3 or 4 rounds beyond it when the cut happened. And then you want to step in and stop it.
Ridiculous, man. Salute to my brother, Young Merv, the cut man, in that super chat. He says, salute, gentlemen, off topic. But I lost my father this Juneteenth at 11:30 p.m. I want to thank y'all for daily counsel, sharing of y'all's experiences, because I'm using them now to keep my stuff together. LDBC. Prayers up for you, man, Young Merv, man. You've been in our chats forever. And thank you. We appreciate you, and I'm so sorry for your loss, good brother.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry for your loss, brother. You know what I mean? But Dad went home with the Lord on Juneteenth, good brother. On Juneteenth, man. And I'm sure he had a beautiful life, man. And you know what I'm saying, he got you. And yeah, you know, I know what that's like, man. And your rest in power to your father, man. And always beautiful to see you in all of our chats, man. Mine, 78s, Stormy's, everybody. I see you everywhere, man. You're a real dude, man. Prayers up for you, Young Merv, man. Salute to you, good brother. Salute to you, man. Stand strong, for real. But Stormy, I think we need to bring this guy to get the counts together.
Whoa! What the
Take that.
At least a fucking Muppet know how to count.
Yeah, man.
Ridiculous.
Why not? The count. At least we could hear him clearly. 2, 3, 4.
Yo, you took too long. You had an in between 9 and 10, motherfucker. Jack Reese had the between 9 and 10. No. Tyson was up on 9. He had the between 8 and 9. 8! 9! You all right? Step here. Step here. Step here. Step here. Rub here.
Now
right?
cha-cha.
Do a cha-cha. Now stop. Cha-cha now, y'all. Now turn it out. Go fight.
Now I'll tell you this: if that was Jack Reese telling that to AJ,
now, y'all.
the fight would have been over because AJ can't line dance, so he would have fucked everything up, and he would have just been like, "You're done."
Oh God. You almost got me. AJ has no rhythm. All right, here it is, y'all. Look. This is it, y'all. They're gonna make me clip this off, but y'all gotta look at this. This is round 1, Bradley versus Kendall Holt.
Fair use.
Fair use, y'all. Boom. Wow. Fair use. Come on, man. He got right up. Look. And then he took a knee.
Yep. And these refs today would have waved it off right there.
They'd have waved it off. Now I want you to remember something. Okay. Not as bad, but I want y'all to remember what happened to Zab Judah in Costa Zoo. Yo, look what No Smoke said. Stop. Hammer time. Oh. I was boxing. What up? Yeah. But I'm saying, that was a violent drop. Yeah. And I stood up when that happened. I said, oh, he's not getting up. But he got right up. I said, oh, shit. But then he took a knee. I said, is he okay? Man, listen, man. This is crazy. Now, Rick Hill, we did a bunch of lives on these bad refs. Yo, oh man, it was across seas. Lucien Boutte and Mo Boxing, you still in the chat? It was Lucien Boutte versus God, I forgot that guy's name. But it was a black ref. And he was screaming at dude for like 30 seconds. And everyone was like, count! It was crazy. I forgot. It was a Lucien Boutte fight, though. It was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. But I've never seen that. Well, I have. I've seen it all. Man. Appreciation. Is this shit working? God damn. What's going on here? Some refs start the count at 5. Why is that? Oh, okay. Because sometimes the action will be happening, and when there's a knockdown, the ref has to make sure the fighter goes to a neutral corner, and he has to look to the table to pick the count up for where the guy at the table has it. Evidence of that is when oh Lord, you going here, Joseph. Evidence of that is when Andre Ward said that was an extremely slow count, and you hear Lennox Lewis saying, yeah, the ref's supposed to pick up the count from the guy at the table, and it sounded like someone was telling Lennox to chill. Because everyone, it was radio silent after that. Joseph Wiggins said, Super Mario ref on Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Y'all know what he's talking about? Because I know. Because the first time I technically whooped Mike Tyson's ass on that video game, Super Mario jerked me. Pause. Mike ain't touched me the whole fight. Those are the best 3 rounds of my life. And he gave me the L. I'm like, yo, come on, man. He didn't touch me. You gotta knock Mike out. Fuck you, Mario. Word up, Mario with the long pause after round 9, man. That shit is crazy. Get him out of there. But yeah, man. My assessment on Adamus, he's no killer. As advertised, he's not a killer. He's a decent fighter. He's heavy-handed. He's very game. But a killer, no, he's not.
And he's not a killer. The sharpest knife in the drawer either.
He's not. Well, expand on that.
He could not get out of J-Rock, get out of the way of J-Rock's right hand to save his life.
At all.
And if J-Rock had more pop on his punches, the fight would have been over a lot sooner. Then that ref would be able to step in and make it. Because I'm telling you now, J-Rock was landing that right hand consistently. Consistently. And I was like, wow, he just doesn't have the type of pop at that weight, 160, to make a difference. You know what I mean? But there's some guys at 160. They can let him have all that he wants, including Maul Charlo.
Let me pull up the rankings.
Why don't they feed him to Tim Tszyu over in Australia?
Uh-oh. So right now, where is he
He's
at?
such a monster, right?
Where's he ranked in the WBC at 160? Well, they have to upgrade this shit. You know, it'd be a good fight right now. Well, what was he fighting for last night? Adamus.
That was the WBC Intercontinental. I mean, interim title. Yeah.
Now, he's right there with Jamal Charlo. Jamal can have 5 years off and he'll beat his ass. That's just my opinion. But guess who's number 1 in the WBC? Guess who's number 1? You ready for this? Triple G.
Whoa! What the
What? These motherfuckers are up to something. So look, Adamus is the interim. He's not fighting Maul Charlo because they're scheming on a Charlo and Canelo fight, right? At 168. If that happens, I think that must mean maybe I don't know, maybe Jamal will go to 168 and stay there. But Triple G. Now let me ask you a question. If they order, because L-Dub was just in there, if they order Adamus to fight Triple G, and that's ordered, Triple G's on DAZN, man. Adamus is a PBC fighter, is he not?
Yep.
So if that's ordered, it could possibly happen. Now let's go back to Benavidez and then Billy. Why can't that fight happen again? When Benavidez called out Munguia, who's on DAZN, why can't that fight happen? Yo, listen, guys, it's all possible. Money talks and bunny shit take a hop. So listen. They said that's why Triple G vacated that damn belt. Why fight Lara and get your face boxed in where Adamus is there to get hit by a right hand? Do y'all understand what's happening here now? Don't you just love boxing? You see this shit? Y'all didn't even know he was number 1 in the WBC, did you? Y'all didn't even know that. Y'all didn't even know that. He vacated belts to get that number 1 spot in the WBC. Why did he do that? Why fight Lara for almost no money when he can now fight Adamus and take that interim off of him, right? And hope that he can get the winner of Charlo and Canelo again. Do you want to see Canelo versus Triple G 4? And guess what? Charlo beats Canelo ass. He ain't gonna worry. Triple G ain't gonna be worried about going to 168 to fight Charlo. Why? Because the same thing, the same treatment that Canelo gave both Charlos is the same treatment that Triple G gave both Charlos. He ain't trying to fight him. Connect the dots, la, la, la. You see? You see that shit? Y'all ain't even know, right? Y'all ain't even know. Y'all ain't even know he was ranked number 1. Y'all ain't even know. I'm telling you, watch them make that fight. You know what? Let me not say watch them make. Y'all just pay attention to what's going on. Y'all just pay attention. It's some BS, man. But my assessment on Adamus is I give him a C- because I don't like what went down. No, fuck that. I'll give him a D. He didn't impress me. And I have his fan base to thank, or whoever's calling this guy a monster, y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong. He's not a monster. He's not a boogeyman. He's a heavy-handed, decent fighter. And I'm telling you, if he gets in the ring with Triple G, he better not fuck around and lose. Because y'all going to stand on all of that shit y'all had to say, man. This is crazy. I'm not, well, boxing is so awful, man. But I'm giving him a D because I don't like how the fight ended. They jerked J-Rock out of his opportunity to get some get back. Did I think he was going to win on the cards? No. Could he have gotten stopped late in the fight? Yes. But I don't like the stoppage. Just like I didn't like the Rolly Romero stoppage. Stormy, what's your assessment on Adamus? What's his grade?
A D is good. He's definitely a guy who has shown us that he is limited. Very limited. And he's not, like I said before, the sharpest knife in the drawer. I saw him in there doing things repetitive to the degree that a fighter with more power and more dangerous on the offensive side could take advantage. And he doesn't adjust very well. He has no jab. How about that? He has no jab, and he looks to walk in and oppose himself physically. And I have said this before. There's always a tougher guy. Always tougher guy. You might think you're the baddest of the badasses, huh? But there's always a badder ass. Yeah. And that's the way of the world. That's to keep things in order. That's to make sure that people learn lessons. And sometimes stubborn folk don't learn lessons right away. And that's where our entertainment comes in. Huh? Yeah.
True story, man. Well, I'm going to get out of here because the allergy medicine is kicking in and I'm about to crash. And salute to all of y'all on the Venmo, the Zelle, the Super Chat, the Cash Apps, and, we love boxing, but boxing don't love us back. And that's all good, man. It is what it is.
Jermaine Dean says he reminds him of Jeff Lacey. And you know what happened to Jeff Lacey,
wow.
Right? Where is Jeff Lacey today? Where is he?
One fight changed the whole direction of Jeff Lacey's career. And the truth is, people said, oh, he took on Joe Kownacki too early. That wasn't the answer. The truth of the matter is his style, he would never be ready for Joe Kownacki, ever. There was nothing he could do. And he went over there to try and be great. Stylistically, it was a nightmare. And that was the end of Jeff. That was the end of Jeff Lacey. So that's what it was, man. Stormy, let me know how I can find you, brother.
Man, everybody can find me right here on YouTube. Stormy B, man, is the channel. All caps, but no cap. And this, we have 6 shows a week that we do. Everything from post fights to Tuesday tussle, Nerds on Culture, Friday night chop session, and then historical boxing shows in between, kung fu shows, and also we got Beats with Sugar. So there's a lot going down on the channel over there. Tune in and you'll see something. I uploaded, it'll premiere the day before the fight, my breakdown video of Alicia Baumgardner and her rematch with Christina Leonardo.
Mm-hmm.
And 704 Joe has already commented on the video saying, now you're talking about Alicia Baumgardner. And did you see her at the fights last night, man? And she was sitting in the audience and she's flexing her muscles. I said, damn, she got more guns than some of the dudes out here. It's like,
yeah, she sure does.
The woman's she's in shape, man. She's fit. But I got that coming, and then quite a few other videos will be dropping too. But for those big fights like that, I've learned I can put them out there and just let them premiere the day before the fights or whatever, just like I'm doing with Bud Crawford and Spence fight. There'll be one for Savannah Marshall challenging Franchon Cruz Discern. That's coming up next weekend. So that'll be coming very soon. And amongst other content that I got ready to rip, man. I'm over there working, man. I ain't just over there rib tips. Okay. So tune in.
So next week we're gonna have the good sister India Azucar Rodriguez.
Hey, Drew, one moment.
Go ahead.
What's up with this Oz Boxing 22, man?
I don't know. Like, what happened?
He's been writing some odd comments over the last few minutes. I just been watching it, but the chat ain't handled no business. And before I do anything, I just kind of wanted to ask, because this is not my channel, but the guy has made some questionable remarks over the last 10, 15 minutes, and they've been just letting it ride.
I haven't paid attention. I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
And when I went to that channel, it says what it usually says for people who do that stuff. So could this be that other person that was timed out already with a different account? I don't know, but I just wanted to call it to your attention before you sign off, so you can do what you got to do to make sure that he can create a new account and come back and give you more views at another time.
All right, I'll take care of it. Well, we're gonna have India Azucar Rodriguez on here tomorrow, female boxer, and yeah, we're gonna show the lady some love, and hopefully her husband can come on too. He plays in a rock band, so that's dope. That's dope. So we'll see her here tomorrow. Coach Amber, she knows what's up. Tay Jones in the building. Salute, bro. We about to sign off. Man, salute to you, man. Yeah, man. Pep talk tomorrow night. More boxing talk tomorrow morning. Don't miss Stormy's premieres. Don't miss Tay Jones when he goes live. Let's all hit up Sesame Street and get this motherfucker to start refereeing these fights, because he knows how to count properly. God damn it. And I'll catch the rest of y'all on the rebound, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.